Hello and welcome to Ftbsports. This is the preview show with Sam and Mike, and we are going to be discussing the game versus Leicester on Sunday, 2:15 kickoff. Okay, so first things first, Mike. Given the result on Wednesday, I've had a look back. I know we were getting a lot of grief about people saying that we were parking two buses, 24% possession, and all the rest of it. But when I watched Match of the Day, they were very, very complimentary about how Spurs approached the game. It's not always about possession. It's not always about, who has the most of the ball.
Yeah.
We were very economical, shall we say, with our possession and economical with our shooting. But they were very, less chances, but certainly better chances. The expected goals from Spurs was higher than Liverpool's, and they were crowing about how much they were putting us in our place and all the rest of it. But you could see that they were well happy with that result.
Yeah.
We were very disappointed, Jose. Well, I like the way he come across in his interview at post-match and was disappointed. So just on that, just before we go on to the game, obviously, just your thoughts on Wednesday.
I think like we discussed Wednesday night. I still maintain we were unfortunate not to pick up points in that game. First half, we were very defensive. But second half, we had, and this is what I think we've got the ability to do in the games like Leicester and stuff. If things aren't going our way, we've got that ability and we've got that talent on the bench whereby we can mix it up and change things if things aren't working for us. And that showed second half against Liverpool. And we had chances to win. We did have chances to win. So although we lost, I'm not too disheartened. Liverpool remain unbeaten for a reason at Anfield. So there'll be plenty more teams that go there, lose, etc. But we shouldn't be too disheartened. Liverpool dropped points this season. They're not the same team as they were last season. So we've just got to make sure when they're dropping points, we're picking points up. So, as I say, going into this game, I think we should still, I hope the confidence is still high.
That's the thing in this league, because I believe they're playing Palace away this weekend, today, I think. Those sort of teams, everybody kind of thinks, should be 3 points for Liverpool. As we found with ourselves, Palace are a tough team. They're good on the counter, and I expect them to do exactly what we did against Liverpool in terms of being very contained in our approach, but also, being dangerous on the counter-attack.
Yeah.
With Hudson's team, notoriously dangerous on the counter-attack. But that being said, that result, again, as you said, we don't go to Anfield and win. We performed well. As I said, I think we performed well. Second half. First half, they did dominate us. And I'm not even going to deny that. They dominated us. Probably had the better of the chances. But we upped the game when we did up the game. And this is what we're saying in the post-review show. When we upped our game, we looked dangerous. We looked like we could score, not at will, but certainly score with the attacks that we had. And we did have some really clear-cut chances. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but we're only 3 points behind.
I was just going to say, on another day, we would have put those chances to bed.
Yeah.
And we would have won the game. Yeah. So the fact that we're creating chances, even against the likes of Liverpool, I think we should take the positives and be happy that it would have been far worse if we weren't creating anything and we lost. But the fact we were creating chances, we didn't put them away and we lost in the 90th minute. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, so again, let's see how the approach is against Leicester, who I think are going to do the exact opposite of Liverpool, probably do exactly how we did against Liverpool, play that very much deep, low block, counter-attack us, use their pace. How do you think Spurs will line up? Do you think there'll be any changes for the game?
The only thing I think potentially we might see a change is Ndombele might come on. And it might start. I can see, and to be fair, that probably be the most likely change. I think he'll give. I don't think the team will change too much. You might see Davis back on the bench for this game, with Sergio back at left back. The rest of the team I think will stay pretty much the same as it has done against the big guns. And I think Bale's back as well, isn't he? I think he's recovered from his 2-match illness or whatever it was. So I think he's back in contention. So I'd expect to see him back on the bench.
So the information I've got here, obviously, we've got Gareth Bale back in training now. We aren't going to have Lamela, although he's slightly ahead of schedule now. He's training again. Yafet Tanganga, he's out. For Leicester, Timothy, is it Gaskin or
Gaskin? Yeah.
And Daniel Amati. Looks like they're going to be in contention to start.
I think they've got Johnny Evans returning from injury, from what I understand. Not injury, sorry. I think he was suspended, so I think he's back in the side.
So I see our lineup being the same again, very similar. Although I think, as you rightly said, I think Ben Davies will drop to the bench. Yeah. I think he'll bring Reguilon in. I also agree on the Dembele situation. I think he'll start, but it pretty much be as you were. For me, Aurier was man of the match in the game on Wednesday, and Doherty isn't number one. And I know they brought him in to kind of maybe challenge Aurier. I think it was probably more likely now to challenge him as opposed to take his place, because Aurier has certainly stepped up his game, and I've been very impressed with him in the last few games. You always got that slight, is he going to make that mistake? Is he going to do this? But he's cut that down. He certainly has cut that down. And for me, he was definitely keeping Mane quiet. And I was very surprised at how little Mane did. He obviously had a couple of chances to score, but nothing like he would normally do.
No.
So I'm expecting the lineups to probably have those couple of changes. Is this now a must-win game? Given the results, we've lost the last game. We drew against Palace. You know, we've taken 8 points from 15 in the last 5. Although saying that, we've played Man City, we've played Arsenal, we've played Chelsea, we've played Palace. So that's 3 derbies there, 3 London derbies, and obviously the game against Liverpool. That's 8 from 15. I'm thinking this has got to be 3 points.
Yeah, I think if we want to be challenging for this title, even though none of us really expect us to be, or if you said at the start of the season, none of us expected to be challenging for the title. I think if we have that ambition this season, then this is a must-win. 3 points, nothing less. And I think we've got it in the bag to beat Leicester.
Oh yeah, the results previously, Leicester, I think in 8 games we've won 6 and drawn 2. Potentially, I'll have to just check that back. But Leicester is certainly a team that we do well against. You know, Harry Kane likes to score against these guys. I'm just very interested in the approach of the game. Again, we can accept the way we play against Liverpool. We can accept the way we play against the teams like City and Chelsea. But Leicester, although they're up there, they're fighting as well in that top 5, top 6. I would expect us to take the game to Leicester. I would expect us at home to be on the front foot. I don't want to see too much of a low block. I want to see us in possession. I want to see us similar to how we played in that first half against Palace. We were really pushing them. I want to see the same thing. But this time, don't take the foot off the gas. Get that first goal, get that second goal, keep the pressure on, and really, you know, put the team to bed, put them out of the way.
I think that's what we've. I think that's sort of our the only fault as such is we get that goal, and we can get that goal against any team. We've shown it against any team in that league. We can get a goal, but we end up taking the foot off the gas, and that can be our downfall. If we were just to maintain, I know it's difficult to maintain a certain level of play for 90 minutes at a certain speed, and yet at some points of the match you will just take your foot off for 5-10 minutes just to get your second breather. But I don't want to see. If we can, I'd rather us just continue just to sort of, I suppose, hit Leicester at the same pace with the same intensity, because we can easily put Leicester to bed with the players we've got. That there should be no reason why we can't. And if the boys are on sort of, I suppose, if they're on form and if they put this Wednesday result to the back of their heads and back of their minds, just say, then there should be no reason why we don't get anything but 3 points today.
Yeah, to quote a phrase, we've got to, you know, take the positives from that game going into this game. I want to see players like Ndombele really like trying to get them through balls, you know, being aggressive, being on the front foot. You know, we tend to if we score early, we tend to score quite early. But what we've been doing is conceding late, and that's the problem. So if we don't have that cushion of a 2-goal lead, our way of conceding goals in the last 15 minutes of games hasn't been great, and that's caused us a problem. So obviously the game on Wednesday was a prime example. We've had Newcastle score late against us. Obviously West Ham have scored late against us as well. So, you know, these are the things which Jose's got to try and address. He's got to see why that's happening. Is it still down to a bit of a mentality thing?
Yeah.
Do we get ourselves into bad positions from set pieces? You know, because his crosses coming into the box for me has looked like we've kind of sorted that out. But then when the pressure was really on, like it was on Wednesday in the 90th minute, it seemed to not quite be organised enough. You know, players were falling on the floor trying to claim a foul on Eric Dyer. It wasn't a foul. And people not challenging the people in the box. It's got to be, you know, you've got to see them games out.
Yeah. And this is where, like, get a couple of goals, and like you say, just see the game out. Don't leave it at 1-0 and think, oh yeah, we'll just defend a 1-0 lead, because any team in the Premier League can score a goal, and it's proved this season. Teams are beating each other, or are certainly picking up points against each other. So just I suppose from my perspective, get the goals, make your lives a bit easier. And just from each game, we should learn from our mistakes from each game. Take them, like, for the next game, just learn from the previous game. And yeah, just get the 3 points and let's just get back on track again. So, and I don't expect us to do anything other than that. Get back on track. Yeah.
How do you think Leicester will approach the game? They're coming off the back of a 2-0 loss at home to Everton, you know, but they are good on the road. They've got a good record on the road. So it's not a game that's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I expect us to dominate. I do really expect us to dominate. But what do you think they're going to come at us?
It's funny because I don't think Leicester have it in their locker to play that patient game like we play against the top teams, whereby we're happy to sort of soak up the pressure and hit teams on the counter-attack. And when we do, we are generally very clinical. I know they've got Vardy, and I mean, he's still a great striker, but the players that they've got, I feel they're all sort of forward-thinking type players. And I think they'll try and... I actually think they'll try and bring the game to us. I don't think they're going to sit back and let us dominate. Yeah, I think they're going to try and sort of bring the game to us a little bit. Yeah, I honestly do. I think they're going to try and bring the game to us and not let us dominate the possession.
See, I think teams are going to have to respect us now. Having watched the post-match interviews with Klopp, with Jose, having watched, as I said, the post-match kind of interviews and analysis from the likes of Match of the Day, etc., etc., they're all very much right. There's different styles of play. Now, Jose is notoriously known for his style now against certain teams, and that is clear and evident. So we shouldn't be surprised. So I think teams will respect us, but the likes of Leicester, if they were to come here and really take it to us, I think we could take advantage of that. I think I'd love to see that them come at us, really try and leave those, you know, those gaps by pushing their fullbacks up high, and see how we then respond to it. Because I think that we have to also show we can play both ways. We have to show we can be on the front. And I know we've seen that, but I want to see us dominating teams that we should be dominating. I know Leicester, like I said before, are up there, but we are the better team, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I just don't think Leicester, I don't think they're going to be happy for us to have all the possession and let us dominate them and attack them, because they're going to have to hit us on the counter break. And against our defence, you're going to have to be very, very, again, you're going to have to be very clinical like we are to stand a chance of winning that game. And I mean, Liverpool Liverpool hit us for 90 minutes, and I mean, they only won it in the 90th minute. So Leicester would have to be, if they're gonna sit back and soak up the pressure and hit us on the counter, they're gonna have to be basically the equivalent of us and be clinical in front of that goal. So that's why I think they'll probably try and take it or bring the game more to us, and it might be in many respects a bit more of an open game, which I suppose we're not quite used to. But
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see an open game.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be too open. Like that will affect us defensively, but I think we'll certainly bring the game to Leicester more than maybe we've seen in previous games. I think hopefully we'll be meaning business today tomorrow. So
yeah, it's that meaning business. That's the aspect that we haven't won in the last 2 games. So I think this is, for me, it's, as I said before, it's a must-win game.
Yeah.
So in terms of wrapping up now, we'll come again to final score predictions. What's your final thoughts on the score for the game on Sunday?
I think 2-0 Spurs. I think it'll be. I think you'll see a solid display from us, and I think I can see a 2-0.
Okay. Well, it does depend on the approach of both teams. As I said, I think if Leicester come with the intent, as you said, to try and attack us, I can see there being quite a few goals in there. I can see us wanting to go out and win this game and be aggressive on the front foot. So I can see goals in this. It really does depend on Leicester's approach. But if they come at us with an intent as well, I'm gonna go 3-1. I'm gonna go with a 2-goal margin. I'm gonna go 3-1. I do think, Leicester have got good players in their team. Tielemans, Maddison. You've got Harvey Barnes in there. You've got Vardy in there. All capable of attacking, all capable of scoring, creating. So it's not going to be easy to keep them out.
No.
Their fullbacks are decent as well. But I can see us definitely. Well, I say definitely. I hope we can beat them comfortably. And 3-1 is my prediction. 2-0 to you. So Spurs win. Whichever way it goes, it's a Spurs win.
Nothing but Spurs win,
folks. I think we're going to have to wrap up now. So the game is on Sunday, 2:15 kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's Spurs versus Leicester. We'll be doing a post-match reaction show on the day after kickoff around about 4:25. So look out for that. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Ftbsports. I'm Sam, and with Mike. Thank you, Mike, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
See you later.
Cheers, mate. Bye, mate.